Wow, 100,000 subscribers on my Firm Learning channel. This is really crazy. Thank you so much for every one of you who was part of the journey. When I started out in January 2020, I would never have thought, I would never even have dreamed that I would be able to reach this milestone, especially not in this amount of time. So welcome to another coffee break here on my channel Firm Learning, and the topic of today is staffing. So the process how consultants get on their new projects, can choose or maybe not really choose their new projects, how this all works. And I will share tips in 3 areas with you. First of all, I will explain to you, hopefully also some non-obvious things, why the staffing process is really important and really decisive for your future career. Second, I will explain to you how staffing processes work in most large consulting firms. And third, I will give you a couple of tips what you can do to steer the whole staffing process in the right direction. So stay tuned. Now without further ado, let's dive into it. So let's start by discussing why the staffing process is really important and you should take it really seriously. Because indeed, while most firms impose some kind of structure and some kind of rules on you, in most of the cases you do have flexibility to steer the process in the direction that you want to have it to go. So first of all, maybe some rather obvious reasons. If you do not take influence on the staffing project, you cannot really make sure that you really do the projects that you want to do. Maybe you are interested in specific industries and specific functions, specific topics that you want to learn more about. Well, it is your responsibility to make sure that you steer the staffing process in the direction that indeed you have the opportunity to do exactly these projects. Next is the people. And while most people you work with in consulting will be great, will be inspirational, will be people you can learn lots of things from, as in all firms there are differences. Probably some people will be a bit more inspirational, a bit more great to work with than others. Probably you will also on a personal level connect with some people better than with others. So make sure that you really find the people that you want to work with and that in the staffing process you also get staffed on these projects with these people that really resonate well with you. Next reason why staffing is important to you is because you need to strategically think about your exposure. If you always work together with the same partner, with the same 1 or 2 project leads for an extended period of time, and then your next evaluation session is up, and maybe these people give really great input on you. But think about it, what will be more strong to make your case to be a high performer, to be a rock star, to potentially get that fast track promotion? Will it be stronger if only one person, one partner cheers for you and tries to make the case for you? Or will it be stronger if several partners, several senior employees of the company will make the case for you? So in general, you want to make sure, while it is great and helpful often to really make bonds with individual partners, you want to make sure that you have a broad exposure, that there's a certain set of people who can all say positive things about you, who will cheer for you. This is the best way for you to really make that case of the strongest performance, to make that case for the past promotion. So if you are looking for your staffing, for your next staffing decision, have your exposure matrix in mind as well to also look at this from this strategic angle. So how does the staffing process works? And of course it's important to mention in the beginning that there are differences firm by firm. Some processes will rather tend towards giving you as the consultant lots of freedom in the choice, and other firms will rather push you towards certain projects that they feel like they're the most valuable ones. But in the end, with pretty much all firms, you do have significant freedom to at least steer the whole process in the right direction. And how it works is that you usually can imagine the staffing process to be like a marketplace, okay? So on the one side of the market, there are all the consultants that are now available or just coming out of a project that is now ended and that are now looking for new projects. On the other side of this marketplace, there are the new projects that are starting, and more precisely the partners that just sold the new projects and that now need a team to conduct this project. And these are the 2 sides, pretty much like a demand side and a supply side, that need to come together to then form the project team. So let's try to put ourselves into the shoes of these 2 market participants, if you want to frame it this way. So first, the consultants. What do they want to do? Well, they of course want to have the project that interests them most, that is most closely aligned with their goals, where they can work together with the people that they want to work together with, and so on and so forth. So they will have very strong preferences on what they want to do. On the other side, the partners. What are they looking for? Well, they want to make sure that the project that they're about to do, that they promised the client to deliver, that they have the best team team possible to make this project a success. And this usually means that they're looking for consultants who already worked on similar topics in the past. So this is like one very big requirement that's usually there. But then the other second important one is also they're looking for consultants that are just high performers. Consultants that have a reputation of being rock stars, of being those that just really always deliver, are always doing a great job. So what does this mean to you? Well, if you're a consultant, you want to do a specific project, if you have already done related things in the past, this will really help you then to do more things in that direction. So usually just getting the foot in the door with a new type of projects, a new industry, a new function is the most important one. After you've done that a couple of times and made a name for yourself, it will be much easier going forward to do more projects in that direction. But then of course your past performance and your reputation in the firm will be extremely important in your ability to secure new projects, to really work on the things that you want to work. Another factor that plays into this process is seasonality. So there are some times of the year, typically the summer, where not that many new projects are starting. So this time there are lots of associates on the beach, as it is called, who are looking for new projects, but not that many projects that start. So in these times of the year, it can be quite difficult to really find the best projects, do exactly the projects that you want to do. But then at other times of the year, usually also the start of a new year, often there are lots of new projects going on. Here there are really lots of projects, lots of demand for associates, for consultants to start on a new project. And in these times of the year, it will always be much easier for you to really get your choices to projects that are aligned with your preferences. So it is important to understand this marketplace dynamic of the staffing process and make sure that you also network, build your network within the firm, because these are really the things that then will help you in the long term to really do the things that you want to do and follow your passions. So as promised, let me end with a piece of advice, because there's one thing that is very commonly done by pretty much all more senior consultants, but that the junior ones often don't really understand yet. And this is the importance of doing due diligence on your future project team. So let's imagine that you're in contact with a new project that is starting and it sounds quite interesting, it sounds great, it sounds like something you would like to do. Then it's really important, the next step, that you make a due diligence on the team. And probably here the most important person to do the due diligence on is the project lead. Because the project lead will likely be the person that determines most how your daily experience will be on the project. So what does this mean? What exactly can you do? Well, my experience is that this is something that is so common practice that it's just absolutely okay just to directly ask that project lead, if you talk to that person, can you name me a couple of references? Can you say me a couple of names of people that you worked with in the past? Usually then these people will be more than happy to provide you a short list, and then you should reach out to these people, either with a short email or ideally on the phone, calling them up, saying, hey, I saw that you worked with this person in the past. Can you tell me a couple of things about that person? How was it like to work with that person? Then, of course, if the project is already ongoing for quite some time, also ask for the names of the people who are currently as consultants on the project, or maybe were on the project a couple of weeks, a couple of months ago. This is also a great way of getting a more independent opinion, a more independent impression of what it's really like to work there at the moment, because often the situation, the experience is not only determined by your own team, but also how the client team is set up. So how are the clients like that you would interact with on a daily basis? Are these people fun to work with? Are they great to interact with? As you can imagine, there are also huge differences on the client side that can also significantly shape your experience. My additional point here would be to also be very deliberate on how you ask the questions if you conduct such a due diligence, because at least in most cases other consultants will be quite hesitant to now blatantly say that a certain person was terrible to work with, that it was super difficult, super bad, the whole experience. So often, unless you really know already these people, the feedback will be much more nuanced. So one question that I always like to ask is, okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much did you enjoy working with that project lead? And here my experience was, if people really loved that person, they would tell you, well, on a scale from 1 to 10, it's 100, it's a 20, it's 50. It's like much more, it's 10 plus. to work with that person. But then if you get a response of like, okay, it was a 5 or a 6 to work with that person, that probably would be something where you would want to dig into that, be a bit more careful. And then of course you can also ask, like, if you would need to name one thing that was really not great, that was really something where this project lead needs to improve on, what would that be? But if you're really like pressing the person to name 1 or 2 or 3 things, what are these people then telling you? So these are really the types of questions that you want to go for. Don't go with too soft, too open questions, because these then will likely give you too soft answers that are not really insightful for you for your decision. So now I'd love to hear your experience. Does this resonate what I was sharing today? Is this also matching your experience if you are a consultant as well? But also let me and the others here in the Firm Learning community know, do you have any other tips from your experience? What are the little tricks that you use to steer the staffing process in the right direction? Let me know in the comments. I trust this would be valuable to many other people here out there. So as always, if you took any value out of this video at all, please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and also hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on more of my content, and also turn on the notification bell. So if you want to see even more from me, I also have an Instagram. My handle is Firm Learning. You also can find me on LinkedIn. Link to that in the video description. And I also want to hand out a big thank you to all the members of Firm Learning. Thank you for supporting my work here with this channel. If you want to become a member as well, hit the join button next to the subscribe button to sign up. This was Heinrich from Firm Learning. I'm releasing new videos every single Saturday on this channel. So see you again, talk to you again next Saturday. Good weekend to all of you. Bye bye.